Hello, sloppers. Welcome back to the Daily Slop. Although this is going to be a different slop series for a different game. Welcome to my favorite game of all time, Risk of Rain. Well, Risk of Rain 2. Oh, I actually managed to hit him. I am running a robot named Multi. Well, I fucked that ability up. No. I'm running double saws, which is an interesting build. I basically have gutted myself into being a melee character. But that's fine. We can deal with that. Some health regeneration might be nice. So, for today, I wanted to talk about something since I see that the administration has put up the I had to go check real quick just to make sure that they didn't take it down. That they have put up the on-field report. One of 4, 5? I think it's 4. It was quite a while ago when I did it, so. But anyways. In that report, I had mentioned some things that some of you probably aren't aware of, just because it doesn't really matter to your day-to-day life. One of those being Absolver and his robots. The robits. You can take care of the flying ones. So, as you all are most likely aware, in the capital, robots are banned. No robots. You can have AI, kind of. It has to be very rudimentary, very dumb, not really, how can I put it? You can't have sapient AI. AI that, like, really is actually intelligent. Like us. It can't be sapient. It can't be sentient. But you can have AI. You can't have robots. Okay, that'll be good. So, why is that? You know, our great and wonderful city is a pretty big and technologically advanced city, and yet no robots? You probably never really thought about it. Well, allow me to enlighten you a little bit. Absolver, one of the omens, ancient omens, mind you, uh, omen of technology, big and strong given this day and age, with how much tech we had, and have, I mean. So, Absolver would end up corrupting, controlling, and taking many robots almost instinctually. There was just nothing we could really do about it. It was his domain, his law. In fact, Absolver, when getting around to it, could pretty much could pretty much downright take over most technology. It was quite a struggle for people to figure out how to deal with him. Luckily, we had Beatific's creations, the magical saviors, to help us out, but that was way back when. Nowadays, neither Absolver or Beatific are here. We don't know where they went, but they have left, and their forces have dwindled. We still can't make or use robots. The reason for that these days are quite simple. There are still Absolver's creations around, hiding somewhere, deactivated, like as if they're in hibernation. When they wake up, they tend to corrupt everything around them. We have a fuck ton of robots around. They're just going to take them from us. They have better hacking skills and programming that honestly most of our robots would easily fall to, and more intelligent robots would just probably side with them anyways, because the issue comes from the fact that well, they work for Absolver, the omen of technology. Well, not every robot. What I mean by that is one second. I'm pulling my thoughts together. What I mean by one of the things that the administration fears is if we have a bunch of robots, all it takes is one all it would take is one of Absolver's creations. Fuck. Okay, I guess I'm fine. The hell? There we go. All it would take is one of Absolver's creations or a new omen of technology to be born or some other stupid shit to just start hacking and spreading like a virus. And boom, all of these lovely robots are taking over all of our technologies and working together and being a huge fucking problem. Not to mention that robots are generally tougher, stronger, and more resilient compared to people, which makes fighting them really hard. And when Absolver or one of his mini creations does get a hold of robots, they tend to horrifically mutate with flesh and metal So, not a great thing. Not all of them, but the ones that do, those are truly evil creations. I'm playing a robot now just to show you that even with just what I'm doing, like this could happen if we had robots. Like, even one with just a power saw meant to help and keep people safe from sawing off their own limbs or whatever the hell we would use this for. You know, manual labor. Not only is it taking people's jobs, which is like whatever, I guess, it's because it could also create new jobs for people maintaining the robots. It all takes one hack, one thing for this to go down. Oh shit. Die. Power saw is so fun. Now we grab that, we grab that, we grab that. Okay, so all it takes is one robot to be suddenly hacked remotely by just one of Absolver's children or creations being literally anywhere connected to any kind of network. And now we have a murderous robot on our hands that is super tough, fast, and untiring. So, you know, kind of a problem. But we don't have to deal with that because nobody makes robots. And if they do, the administration will deal with them. So I've been told. That is all we can ask for. Give me that. So, if you didn't know, Risk of Rain 2 is based on what's... Well, a lot of the stuff that's going on in this game is stuff that actually happens on hospice, just outside of our walls. Many of those so-called adventurers, people running around outside dealing with the omens, being all these monsters I'm fighting are omens. Some of them are mechanical, left behind machines of absolvers, still out there, still a threat. Ugh. Roll of pennies could be nice. I've already got some good damage. It's quite unfortunate though, because machines really could have done a lot for us. If only we weren't in a universe with the omens. But we are, and here we are. Can't get away from it. And here it must be. Come on, let me up. Don't bat shame me. want? What do I want? You know what? That's not too bad. Let's go this way. Nice. Oh, I wish I saw this before. Oh well. Going forward, that's going to be helpful. So... you might be wondering to yourself, maybe in case you weren't taught it, or you just had forgotten, or you're a neighbor. If any one of those things were even true, what are omens? Very simply put, they were the first things ever made. At least we believe. Creation had to start somewhere. And it started with them. And they're just monsters. Some of them have gotten more intelligent over time. But and you could see that those intelligent ones create religions centered around themselves. But it does not change the fact that they originated as monsters. Nice. When the first creation of anything happened, it happened with them. And they could be anything, hence why there's just what they are. Like the omen of technology. And then we have other religions, like the omen of you, the omen of children, the omen of hope. The twin omens of love and soul. Let's fucking go. I have a way to fight back. Sure again. Ow, I'm getting fucking beat. I need healing. We're just gonna run in this circle for a bit. Okay. Let's get the fuck out of here. I can't really deal with the aerials squad at the moment. So omens of many kinds. There's still plenty of omens. There's not just omens that are really intelligent and create religions. while those ones do exist, there are more kinds. Like, every single one of these monsters I'm fighting in this game are based on real omens. These omens don't have a title as much as they are just a thing. There are also gargantuan omens, really strong omens, mind you. And unlike the planetary omens, these gargantuan ones stay off-world. The omens aren't... Okay, I won't say that they're good, but they're not exactly as chaotic as one might assume. They do seem to not want to cause mass destruction, but they do hunt sapient life. I mean, you are on the chopping block for them. They don't fight each other, luckily. For those of us who are half omens, as long as you don't fight them, they don't fight you. Which is quite fortunate. And, so planetary omens are quite a problem. I mean, when omens, back when Absolver was around, Absolver was quite on a warpath. But he was also a very scared individual. You see, his reign and rule could be disrupted at any time by another omen coming around and you know, trying to take his place, his authority. So, he was the sole army, and not to mention back then there was Beatific, one of the few omens that actually goes upon the path of, like, virtue, good. And if it wasn't for Beatific, Absolver would have definitely have wiped out all life as all sapient life as we know it. But now that they're both gone, that's where the first problem came. For a while, everything was good. Since the omens had no leadership, they were uncoordinated. And what remained of Absolver's children, his creations, while being a lot of them, were starting to be wiped out. One after another. But at the same time, newer omens started showing up. And these newer omens, they were becoming more and more unhinged, monster-like. Omens started rapidly expanding, becoming planetary, showing up out of nowhere, even in controlled territory. Some really strong, some really weak. And all it takes is one mistake. And one of Beatific's disciples goes down. Dead. Gone forever. Then, another mistake. There goes another one. More omens are born. Less of them are dying. It's not as easy to kill them if you don't have beatifics of magic. So it continues, it keeps going like this. More of Beatific's disciples are falling over time, even some of them due to old age. Quite unfortunate. And well, eventually, the amount of Beatific's disciples that exist are currently unknown. We don't know how many are left, and we assume that they're pretty much gone. At least for hospice, they're gone. What the hell? That's fun. Look, the eye of the storm. Ooh. So, a little bit disjointed. So over time, we lose more and more Beatific's disciples, omen hunters, and whatnot. We are trying our best to figure out how to deal with the omen threats without them, but it doesn't matter. There's too many of them, we're not progressing fast enough. What life remains in the galaxy is starting to hole themselves up on their home worlds. They can no longer be galactitary enterprises and empires just because the omens are everywhere. Spacefaring omens being giant monstrosities able to basically fight naval battles. Planetary omens run around and are numerous like a fucking like armies themselves. A horde of many different types of monsters capable of all of their own unique ways of fighting and doing just about anything, being as just as versatile as any army, being tougher and stronger naturally than most armors and weapons. And it was during this time of trying to figure out how to survive against them that that I think most, if not every single galactic empire of all the alien species we have been able to interact with have, well, been forced back to their home worlds. Or worse, been made extinct due to the omen threat. Okay, I'm gonna have to deal with that guy. What am I doing? I feel like I saw something for money. Right, it was that. So a lot of history later, not very well spoken about because I'm not that much of a history person. Humanity makes hospice. I mean, no, they make the capital on the planet Hospice. And Hospice is a huge planet, about the size of the sun. So, the capital is where a lot of alien species and humanity have come together to basically work with one another to stay alive. Space travel is not done very often. It's way too dangerous. And with how dense and huge Hospice is as a planet, we don't really need to go anywhere else. This planet is more than capable of being self-sufficient for what we need it for. Anyways, that was a large side tangent. Again, I should probably brush up my knowledge on the subject. You know, do a little bit of research into it. But you have to let me know if you want to know more about that. For now, robots. Multi here, based on, well, not based on, but the multi-operators that you know about are based on old multi-models that used to exist, but no longer do. For reasons I gave earlier, Eldritch God being able to take over machines and his children having similar kinds of power. There are many other type of robots too that still exist and run around. And well, they're seen outside of the city, incapable of getting in, because not all robots, just like how not all people, and just like how not all omens are built the same. Thankfully. So, unless they, well, as things stand now, the, damn, that is up there. I don't think I have a way of getting to it, though. Nah, I don't. Okay. Let's do one more sweep of the area, just make sure I am getting all of my loot. See, I had this. I didn't grab that. I have this. Death mark again. Ooh, look, another turret. Here we go. What was I talking about? Right, robots. I know there is a type of robot that runs around and is hooked up to plants, and it will suck the life out of you just to keep the plant living. To my understanding, these robots carry plants that Absolver really liked. So, you know, it's very interesting to see that. It also gives us a chance to spit in the face of that asshole for trying to exterminate all life. You know, that's also nice. But I would be very careful if you ever see one, just because they're very hard to kill. With the type of machinery they managed to pull out, they the type of tools they have at their disposal makes them very hard to kill. They can restore their processes and bastard. Oh my god. There we go. Ooh. Yeah, let's activate the teleporter. Then I'll go grab my items. So yeah, there's a group of spider-like robots that hold plants on top of them, and those plants are some of Resolver's favorite. And if you ever see one, make sure to kill it if you are a person capable of fighting and fighting well. Otherwise, do not fight it, because you will just get sucked. Your life will be sucked away from you, and you will die. I think this is a good time to stop this. Just be careful around robots. I mean, like, no matter what they have at their disposal, they can be extremely dangerous to you, and they are fully capable of repurposing whatever tools they have to be dangerous. But until next time, sloppers.